Hello. So, welcome to another embodied cooking class. Today we are going to be making something actually very simple, but maybe kind of unusual. We're going to be making Brussels sprouts, my favorite vegetables of all time. I'm so excited for its very short season with a super creamy and delicious hummus as the base. So like think about how you're often served a delicious bed of hummus with some chickpeas in it or something. We're going to be putting big old bunch of roasted, well, pan sautéed, actually, not roasted in the oven, sautéed Brussels sprouts over top. So yummy. So let's get started. And it's fun. I just want to note we're doing this in the evening also, which is kind of fun for me, a little bit different. I do like, of course, making dinner, cooking in the evening. It's been a long day. The reason that I am here is because I have jury duty at the moment. And so I'm unable to film during the day. And so it's been a strange day with a lot of waiting around. I am just feeling a little bit of that kind of pent up, like I wanted to do things and I didn't get to do things energy, which is a strange thing. So bear with me as we go through this. I'm going to begin by washing the Brussels sprouts. But the very first thing that we always do, of course, is our breathing. So I'm going to do 3 deep breaths, and today I want to tell you more about those breaths. We're going to try to keep them very equal. We're going to count to 5, hold, and then 5 out. And when we sip the breath, we actually try to go just through the nose, slowly, almost with an audible, a sort of hissing sound internally. You're making, like you're really you're thinking about the air that's going into your body. This is called samavriti. It's a special yoga breath. And it's really relaxing and calming and soothing in every way. It teaches us a little bit about our lung capacity, and it's just a really lovely thing. So I wanted to tell you more about it. So here we go. We're going to count to 5. Pause. And then 5 again. That's 1. Again. Pause. And out. And the last one, let's make this the biggest, deepest one that we can do. Pause. And out. Okay. I really do feel slightly better. I don't feel bad or anything. I just have been feeling a little bit off. Like it's confusing. I'm doing this at a funny time. I am unsure feeling about, what will my day be like tomorrow and the next day? How long will I have jury duty for? These are the things that are on my mind. And I think these are the things that are on all of our minds, especially at the end of the day. It's a neat opportunity to just think about dinner time and how kind of intense it sometimes can really be, because we've been building up our stress often, or we've had a whole day. You've had a whole day of experiences now to sort of deal with. And sometimes it can be really hard to let that go and move into the space of cooking and just being with. So I'm just going to wash these quickly over here. Okay. Just a quick scrub. Now I'm going to Get rid of just the little ends that are kind of too woody. And then I'm going to cut them into quarters. And you could just cut them in half if you really like the larger pieces. That's great too. Or you could even shred them, and then the cooking will be a lot faster. Quarters is like the medium zone for me. That's why I'm going for it. Taking some deeper breaths. Feeling the wetness on my fingers from washing these. I love the way that they have so many layers. These little tiny baby cabbages. They're beautiful. I actually got these Brussels sprouts outside the courthouse this week. There was a random farmer's market just one morning when I showed up to do my service. And I thought, oh, do they have Brussels sprouts? And they did. It felt quite magical, actually. Just make it so I didn't have to hit up a grocery store afterwards. It's miraculously quiet here for dinner time, too. So I can hear all the little sounds, the slicing, and the cling. And I could be hurrying, but I'm not feeling hurried today. I'm not going super slow, but not rushing. Because this is just a pound of Brussels sprouts. It's really not that much. It won't take all that long. Ugh, they're so pretty inside these like tiny little flowers. I really like them. And they're even better once the outside, those leaves get crispy in the pan. Oh my goodness. And they pick up the salt or any flavors that you add. Just a wonderful sponge. Actually, I think this could be a really lovely dish for the Thanksgiving table if that is something you're looking for. Obviously, Brussels sprouts in various ways. I think probably the most popular these days is like Brussels sprouts with bacon, which is wonderful. But Brussels sprouts over a bed of creamy hummus with garlic and lemon might be nice to try. there is also an aroma, sort of cabbagey, broccoli-y smell. And that's always a little amplified by when they are wet. Don't quite know why that is. I'm sure there's a scientific reason. I don't need to know why though. It's just nice to notice it. And that's really the point of all of this, is just to get a chance to notice all of these little details. And when we notice here, we can notice things when we're walking down the street. We might notice a flower and try to smell it. Or you might notice something where someone may be struggling at work that we hadn't noticed before, that might need help. And you would have walked by before, but now you notice. That's the thing about doing this kind of activity. It is so soothing, but it also is building us into better noticers. I am peeling some garlic now. I'm not even going to bother to clean my knife because it's all going to be the same thing. Cutting off the ends. And I'm going to peel it quickly. That one went very well. You never know with garlic. Sometimes it can be so sticky. Wonderful. Just a couple cloves of garlic. Now we're going to go over to our pan. And I'm going to put it on high to begin with because we kind of want to get these guys seared. Woo! I am running very low on olive oil. Potentially not enough. That's okay. We'll find something else. We'll add maybe a little coconut oil, kind of unusual for this, but it will work. I just want a fair amount of fat in the pan so that the Brussels sprouts can all get a little oil on them and get crispy. Okay. I'm going to just let that warm up a bit. Take some more deep breaths. Notice how I feel now. I'm beginning to be entranced by the bubbles, so that's a good sign. Fabulous. So much sizzling. Time for the Brussels. Oh yeah. You can smell the coconut oil. Quite nice. I'm going to add a fair amount of salt. Probably that's just a half teaspoon. And another half teaspoon or so, not even. I'm gonna let that sit. I'm gonna turn it down a bit, so to medium-high zone, and just leave that for a few minutes. I'm gonna get turned on the hummus, which for sure, you know, if you wanted to make this a really quick and easy dish, you can absolutely just buy a tub of hummus, of course. Probably many of you have that in your fridge already. But I want to show you how to make hummus yourself. I think maybe it's already like quite well known. It's really just chickpeas and tahini, lemon and garlic. And of course you can flavor it in many kinds of ways. But I've learned also that the key to like a really special hummus is this ridiculous thing that takes up so much time and yet is so worth it. I'm just going to drain the chickpeas, but first I have to clean out my sieve here. I'm going to drain the chickpeas. Just one can. We're just making enough for me and a friend. Or a nice side dish for Thanksgiving. Okay. So here's the trick. To have the creamiest hummus you'll ever have is every single chickpea has this little skin on the outside. We want to remove that because that is sort of what gives you that chalky mouthfeel. So, and I had no way to do this faster. I think as I do this, I notice there's some of them are losing their skin, which is wonderful, but it doesn't really happen well enough. And this is something where you really do want to get every single one. And truly, again, you could also, just like you can pull the tub of hummus, you don't have to do this. It will still be really yummy. It just won't have this super special mouthfeel. And there's something about the experience of doing something like this that is so tedious, or that we think of as so tedious. I'm hearing a lot of sizzling, so I'm just going to check on this. Yeah. Oh, I get so excited when, here, let me show you. Bring it over. When you flip it, and it's like just that level of super brown goldenness. So amazing. Smells incredible. Like the way that a Brussels sprout smells when it has hit the pan with salt and oil is truly incredible. And it's turning bright green. Wonderful. So I'm going to return to what we would, normally consider as this very tedious task. And I guess what it makes me think of is all these sorts of like spiritual tasks that people do, like counting rosaries or just like doing something really carefully and mindfully as a kind of service. To do it with a lot of love and to create. I always notice I definitely get impatient. You might not know it from these classes because of the way that I am for them and because this is my wonderful space, but I'm very impatient generally. I always want things to happen more quickly. And I'm always shocked at how long something can take. And I don't even know why do I feel that way? Does it have to do with, do I feel like I don't have enough time in my life? What am I running out of? Why? I think all kinds of thoughts come up like, oh, I could be doing something else. Maybe I could be spending time with people that I love. Maybe it's I could be doing something that actually brings me pleasure, but this isn't fun at all. Maybe it's, oh my gosh, I have so much stuff to do, so much work, so many responsibilities, and I'm skinning chickpeas. What on earth? This is insane. All of those thoughts can come up. And I think they can just be really interesting to examine them. And in my case, I can just go, well, I've made a choice. I'm making a choice to do this. And I can have it be this experience of something tedious that I don't really want to do. Or I can notice that actually I apparently do want to do this. I want to have this creamy hummus. There's something oddly satisfying about doing this. And I can try to just be with that and allow that. Or allow the other reality, which is I do want to do this and I wish it took less time, but I'm still going to make this choice. Or it can be all the things that I'm annoyed by it. I'm worried about my responsibilities. It is pleasurable in some way. It is kind of satisfying. All of those things are true. This is the beauty of all of our human experience. But I'm enjoying myself. Like, this sound is so soothing to me. This gentle sound of the plop, the feel on my fingers. Very human. Oops, wrong way. That way, that way. Let me check on this again. We're getting along with these beauties. So I'm going to add the garlic in now. I don't add the garlic in at the beginning because then it would just sort of get burnt. Because the Brussels are much larger and they cook faster. Oh. And now the garlic smell immediately is here. So amazing. Back to our little chickpea ritual. My little chickpea ritual. I won't say that you have to feel the same way about it as I do. You can absolutely skip this, but I sort of love it if you tried it. And I guess I'm probably talking about all of this sort of sitting with something that is taking too long, also because that has really been on my mind as I've been in jury duty. There has been just incredible amount of waiting for something to happen, to be told what to do. And sometimes this just is a part of life, and it really is. For me, for sure, I have these internal battles of, what should I do? Somehow, if I was smart enough, I could be having a different experience. But most of the time, that's not really true. It's just hard. And sometimes we have to do things we don't want to do that are annoying in some way. And we can choose to almost blame ourselves. That's definitely something I notice I do. I'll blame myself for the experience that I'm not enjoying. And that makes it so much more painful. But if I can just go, yeah, this is probably not how I would have chosen to spend my week or my time if I had the choice, but I don't have the choice. And I can choose how I relate to it. And I notice that when I just accept this is where you are. It feels so much better. I wrestle with control all the time in my life. And I think that's a very sort of small way what we're trying to work with in these embodied cooking classes is that as we try not to worry about the outcome, we just trust the outcome will be exactly what it should be. It will be magnificent, or it will be a bit of a disaster, or it will be mediocre. All of those outcomes are good because we will eat and we'll get to experience something. Maybe it will be a learning experience about something we like or dislike, or about a technique, or about time management, or whatever it may be. Or we will discover that when we put our minds, when we really allow ourselves to be enthralled by the process of cooking, we can make something really, really amazing. And we did that. I am smelling quite a lot of aroma from this direction, so I'm going to check. I think we are done here. I'm going to turn off the heat. Oh my gosh. Some of these are so perfect. Can't wait to show you how good they look. I'm going to just grab one, let it cool down a bit, and then eat it to make sure that it's cooked enough. But I'm pretty sure it is. It's so good. The other day I made these, and I got so lost in making in this part that I left them for way too long. And then I tried to save them by adding some water to the pan just to sort of scrape up they're all stuck. And then they just got soggy. So I learned something. And that's, of course, the beauty of this experience. But you have to actually be here paying attention to get any benefits from the experience. And I know so often we are trained to, be multitasking in some way. Whether it's like actually doing emails or something, or talking to various people, or just inside our own heads thinking about other things instead of being with it. We lose out on things. See, I think this is the point where I'm usually like, oh, really? There's still that many left? What was I thinking? Like everyone has that point in any task where you're like, I thought this was going to be over soon. I guess mine is at, 60%? I wonder if everyone has a different point. And I probably am just belaboring my point at this point, but it really does become like a meditation. You can focus so much on just exactly this. Allow thoughts to come and go. Breathe consciously. Notice I take a deeper breath when I get a little impatient. And that's because it helps. It's our body's most powerful way of saying everything is okay. Ooh, missed a little bit in there. Anytime, this is why the breath is just so powerful. Anytime we breathe slowly with awareness, we are sending our body a message that we are safe. When we breathe like out of our mouth and quick and shallow, we are sending our body a message that it is in danger. We don't mean to do these things. We do them while sending out, hold my breath while sending an email I'm nervous about afterwards. And it's just I've held all this worry in my body and made it seem scary. If I can learn to breathe deeply, even when I'm very nervous, maybe about that email, I can teach my body that these sorts of daily tasks are not something to be afraid of on a physical level. It is not the same as running from a tiger. Easier said than done, of course, but the point is really, and the really good news, like such good news, is that you just do this a little bit anytime during the day. You do it for 2 minutes. If you're able to do it a little bit while you're cooking, like I do, this is what works for me. Or when you're walking home, or when you're putting away the laundry, or when you're brushing your teeth. There's some time then you are teaching your body how to be safe, and you'll reap the rewards of that. Sometime you will be doing that thing that you dreaded, that sending that email, and you'll notice that your breaths are easier and you're just not as worried about it. And then you'll start to do them. Just send the email quicker because it's not a big deal. It's not anything to worry about. I also have these tiny cuts on my fingers. So I'm feeling a slight stinging sensation in my fingers. Slightly uncomfortable, but okay. Makes me feel alive. The sizzling has finally stopped. We are now alone with the chickpeas. done, and I'm going to check on mine. My Brussels sprouts are wonderful. They could probably use another minute or two so we can warm them up just before we finish. It's great news. Oh, so good. I really love Brussels sprouts. It's like a thing. Now I'm going to squeeze. Oh, you know what? I don't think I had this in the recipe, but I just realized I should zest this. I didn't have a big lemon, so I'm using a lemon and a lime. And I'm going to zest this little guy and add this to the Brussels sprouts. Oh my gosh. The tiny cuts in my fingers are now getting lemon oil in them. Gotta tell you, it's not the most pleasant feeling. Ooh. I'm just gonna do a bit of this because honestly it hurts. Okay, so we have lemon and lime zest, beautiful green and yellow. Plunk it in the pan here. Wonderful. And now I'm going to chop them. And add their juices into here. We use the sieve because that way it catches all the seeds. Wow. This is like next level, like monk stuff. First I was like doing the sand, obsessive painting, or, you know, there's so many, maybe making a mandala, like these types of beautiful, but very careful, slow things. And now I'm doing like the lashes. I'm squeezing lemon juice into my cuts. It's got to be worth some kind of spiritual realizations, right? All right. Now, I'm not actually going to add garlic to this because we have garlic in with our Brussels, but it is, of course, traditional to add garlic in to hummus. What I'm adding is tahini, about 2 tablespoons or so. I like quite a bit of tahini in my hummus. It's very important. Oh my gosh, and I just realized we're out of olive oil. This will be interesting. I do have some sesame oil. So this is going to be a definitely imperfect recipe today. I'll do some water, a little bit of toasted sesame oil, and just more tahini for the fat content. I have a feeling it's still going to be really good. Okay. Just clean this up before I go. Okay. Yeah, we're out of olive oil. That's really funny. I do actually kind of like adding a little bit of toasted sesame oil, which is obviously super not traditional, but sesames are already in it in the tahini. I'm going to bring the little Vitamix over here. Just blitz this up. I am going to add water. just a bit. I usually would use 3 or so tablespoons of olive oil. You know the reason we are not doing this. My minor disorganization today. I'm gonna add salt, just to taste. And here we go, loud sounds coming through. Needs a little more water, I think. So, just to get going. What will it be like? Well, it's very creamy to the eye, so that's good news. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's missing olive oil, but it's really good. Very tahini. I like the sesame oil, and it's like it really comes through because there's no olive oil flavor to compete with. It's tasty. It's great. Okay. So I'm just going to get a little more heat on these little guys. Tiny bit more salt. And then I'm going to light this up. Wonderful. There we go. Another part I tend to not like is having to deal with the blade in the blender. Like, get out of my way. My stuff. When you have a smoothie, it just like comes out really easily, but when it's a thicker paste, totally annoying. But that's okay. I'm going to take a deep breath and accept this is part of it. Okay. Get that out of the way. Oh, look how creamy it is. Beautiful. And the Brussels. Good. They were already good. Bring them over. Already there. Pretty nice, right? Look at all that. So good. Okay. Oh yeah. Here we go. Just getting one little garlic chip out of there. Yes. There you have it. And now, truly, I would put some oil onto this, perhaps. You could sprinkle it with anything you like, but this is a beautiful meal just in and of itself. Or gorgeous side dish. I'm just going to try a little bit. Because I didn't taste things very much this round. The The Brussels are hot and with these crispy pieces, and the garlic and the lemon. And then truly this hummus, or this whatever it is without olive oil, probably can't even call it hummus, is lighter than air. It's so fluffy. It's delicious. I'm really, really happy with that. Despite the many foul-ups. This is my recipe. I messed up a bunch of parts of it, and it's still, I'm happy with it. It's great. This whole process was wonderful. So thank you so much, and I will see you next week, I hope. Please join me again. Thank you.